Sports fans, what's going on? Patrick over here at Ghost Picks ATS coming at you with some Barbasol Championship PGA golf. So later today, ideally, Moff and I will get back on here and we'll do the Scottish Open. So this week there's two golf tournaments. The PGA Tour is actually the Barbasol Championship, and the DP World Tour is the one with all the best golfers, 14 to the 15 best, the Scottish Open. Everybody in the world playing in that tournament. But this one here is the Barbasol Championship. Similar to the John Deere last week, this one taking place in the hills of Kentucky. But last week, absolutely destroyed the John Deere Classic with almost the same exact field. So I figure there's no reason to not go right back at it. I like a lot of the similar guys, especially the ones who maybe slightly underperformed, such as Satoshi Kodaira. Come on, Patrick. Satoshi Kodaira. He was plus 750 last week to place in the top 20. He finished in 30th. A guy like David Lingmerth, another one who has had great success on bent grass. He's in a weak field this week. Last week he was plus 700. He missed the cut on the number. But he's just one of these guys. He's a phenomenal putter. Out here, you're going to have to be able to score. So Barbasol Championship, this field is garbage. But at the same time, every single one of these guys has the potential to shoot 20 under par. So just because I say the field is garbage doesn't mean they're not absolutely phenomenal at what they do. They're professionals. And if you look at the KFT tour, it's a secondary tour, but the winning scores of those tournaments are 20, 25 under. So these guys got to be able to put the ball in the hole. And, we saw that last week. John Deere, a bunch of quote-unquote no-names who were balling. I like some of those no-names again this week. And, we're almost running it straight back. Guys like Mark Hubbard, who last week was plus 250 for a top 20. This week he's leading. He's at the top of the board. Sam Ryder is another name we had last week. Made the cut, just missed outside. But here he is, a guy who's had great success here at the Barbasol, coming in pretty hot. So, that's another name I like right there. I'll be riding with Ryder. Vince Whaley. Okay. COVID restriction talk. But it's in China. It's nothing. Vince Whaley, born Louisville, Kentucky. I don't think he grew up there. I do believe he's a Florida kid. But Vince Whaley, I like him as well. We had him last week. He just outside there. Birdie or better. It's the most important thing this week at this tournament. It doesn't matter how you do it. You got to get it done. You got to be able to score. The winner will 100% be at least 15 to 25. It's a long variance there, but over 20 under par is what I'm looking at. With that being said, let's look at some of the top guys in the field at putting over the past couple rounds. Guys like Chesson Hadley. We had him last week. We've had him the past 2 weeks. He's top 10 both weeks. This guy, a long shot. But here he is, top of the leaderboard. Or not top of the leaderboard, top of the odds board this week. So finding a balance of, value, skill, talent, and the way they fit the course. The RBC Heritage in Canada and the John Deere Classic. Those have been two tournaments that have been played relatively easy. They're pretty easy to score courses. You got to be 17 to 25, something in that area, to win these tournaments. And you see the majority of the cuts, a good amount under par. So you got to be able to score. And guys who have had success in those two tournaments, or maybe one out of the two, and just had a little something odd going on in the other one. So a guy like Austin Cook, who his last three tournaments, he has made the cut, but 13th, 63rd at the Travelers, and then comes back at the John Deere with another 16th. I don't think he's a name being talked about too much, but Austin Cook's an interesting one, can definitely score it, solid putter. Mark Hubbard is in the same boat. We had him last week as well. But David Lingmerth is actually one that I want to kind of mention here. Missed the cut at both of those events. The putter was not doing him any justice. This is a guy who's lights out putter. Absolutely lights out, especially on bent grass, which it is this week. And if we're looking for some long shots whose odds haven't really changed over the past couple weeks. These guys against a weak field last week, they had crazy odds. But, Vegas learns after we whip them. And, David Lingmerth. I like that one quite a bit. So, mark that one on the book as a top 40. He's got crazy odds. And that's the one thing about this tournament is since there's no horses really at the top, they don't have, no one's a big favorite to finish in the top 20. I think the lowest odds are Chris Gotterup, who's plus 120, plus 115, which I love. Chris Gotterup, the Rutgers cat. That dude can score. Another guy on Sunday, he was plus 190 to finish in the top 10, and we snagged him Sunday morning, and he ends up finishing in third place. We almost had him to win outright without JP Poston in there, and he was 60-1. So Gotterup's got some real talent, but all these guys playing again this week against a bad field. The bottom of this tournament is weak, but on an easy course, anyone can have their week. So got to have guys that can get up and down. Michael Thompson, another name. That was one I liked him on. We didn't take him pre-tournament at all, but he's at one of the best putters probably in the field, and was just off his game last week. Did not have it, and still was competing. He was 11 under par, 10 under par, something ridiculous for not being able to putt the ball. That's a guy who's a great putter. Give me a little action on Michael Thompson here. Now to win this tournament, since this is the Barbasol. This isn't the premium. If you want the premium action, that's all in the Scottish Open. Barbasol, I'm an open book here, anything and everything. So one of my surprise picks here this week, which almost has minimal to do with numbers and whatnot, more so about mentality. A guy like Harry Higgs. So Harry Higgs to me is very, very interesting. He withdrew from the Scottish Open. He's not in the field next week for the U.S. Open or for the Open Championship. Now I'm wondering for a guy like Harry Higgs, who's not, he's not a great golfer whatsoever, but he's placed, I think third at the U.S. Open, maybe 14th at the Masters. In majors, he's really stepped up. On tough courses, he's been able to do his thing. Harry Higgs can putt, and he plays against the top of the tour just about every week, and he's one of the worst of the top of the tour. But in a weak field, I'm looking at Harry Higgs' odds, and I'm just thinking to myself, why did he withdraw from the Scottish Open, a historical course with a historical field, to stay in dang Kentucky and play at the Barbasol Championship? And I think it's because he wants to place top 3 and get into the U.S. Open or the Open Championship. So a guy like Harry Higgs, there's a lot to play for these guys, especially the ones that have been just beat up on this tour week in, week out, playing against Rory and JT and all these guys. They've got none of them. None of the top 20 golfers. Absolutely nobody. The top of the board is nuts. Chris Gotterup, Mark Hubbard, guys that you've never heard of are the favorites this week. Give me some long shots to come out of there. A guy like Harry Higgs to place top 5. Let me find that exact ticket here. Absolutely insane value, in my opinion. Top 10 on a guy like that. If you put him on the KFT tour, my man's probably putting up some top 10s and putting up some similar numbers to some of these guys that are at the top of this leaderboard here. But anyways, let me get into it. Let me check that out. That'll be what we leave you off on there. A top 5er for my guy Harry Higgs. I do believe that was on FanDuel, was a phenomenal number. But BetMGM, I always say BetMGM pays their ties in full, which is huge in golf. So if you ever get the opportunity, BetMGM is the ticket. If the odds are similar between DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, whatever, I definitely 100% could not emphasize it enough. Do it on BetMGM, because if they pay their ties in full, it happens a lot in golf. So, but Harry Higgs, plus 1,900 for a top 5 finish. That's what some of these jamokes are to win this damn tournament, and they don't have any wins under the freaking belt. So, Harry Higgs, I think that's an interesting one. That's more of a gut play than anything else. But the man can score, and I think against this weak field, who the heck knows? It's the Barbasol. You look at who wins the Barbasol Championship. That's what I'll go to next over here. I mean, you got names like Jim Herman was 300 to 1. Ryan Amore, James Hahn. It's just Richie Warinsky, who's just a nobody. Who's Grayson Murray. All these guys, Aaron Badley. Those are the prior winners of the Barbasol. If you're not a golf fan, you haven't heard of any of them. And that's exactly it. So give me a no name down there to win. David Lingmerth. And these are light plays. It's the Barbasol. If you want the big action, we'll be coming back with the Scottish Open later here. Next video, as well as MLB. MLB Play of the Day. 2 days ago, Red Sox. Yesterday, Reds. First 5. Both. Money. We were one strikeout away from Lodolo from the Cincinnati Reds. Over 8.5 Ks at plus 1,400. We hit over 6.5 Ks at plus 350. We also hit the Reds on the first 5. So we'll get another one here later today here on YouTube. So if you're watching this, watch that one next. Peace and blessings. Let's go Lingmerth, Higgs. You know what I'm talking about over here. Barbasol Championship. Take some no-names, sprinkle some long shots. Let's roll. Scottish Open will be coming up later. Good luck. God bless. Grind on. I actually technically didn't give out a lock of the week, which is a shame. Sam Ryder, top 20. Lock of the week. I'm out. Peace and blessings.